We're going to work on the unit circle, labeling it with the angle measures in both radians and degrees. And we're going to work through our common angle measures. So our common angle measures start at, let's do the smallest one first, which is pi sixths. That'd be 180 divided by 6, or 30 degrees. We're also going to look at increments of pi fourths, which is 45 degrees, pi sixths, which is 30 degrees, and pi halves, which is 90 degrees. Let's go ahead and start with increments of pi halves. We're starting here on the positive x-axis, and we're going to measure our rotations. If we're going in the counterclockwise direction, that's positive. We're not going to do the negative direction here, but if we were to go clockwise, those angle measures would be negative. If I go ahead and start labeling with my 90-degree increments, or my pi halves, they're going to be starting right here. So 90 degrees is that square corner, that square angle. So this is 90 degrees, or pi halves, 90 degrees. And then I go another quarter of the circle. This one is at pi, or 180 degrees. I can also think of that pi as 2 of these pi halves, which reduces down to pi. So I'm counting. This is 1 of them. This is 2 of them. Now I go another pi halve. So this is going to be 3 of them. So this is going to be 3 pi halves. In degrees, this turns out to be 270 degrees. And then finally, all the way around is going to get me to 4 of them. So that's going to be 4 pi halves, which had better simplify, and it does, to 1 full rotation of 2 pi. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next grouping. If you didn't get all that, should have said this before I hit clear frame. You can go ahead and pause and then make sure that you write everything else down. So let me go ahead and get our unit circle back up here, and then we'll do the next group. Okay, so here's our unit circle. So let's go ahead and do the next group. I want to start with the smallest one next. I'm going to go ahead and do pi sixths. So we're going to do pi sixths. These are 30-degree increments. So the pi sixths get me to the smallest rotations here. I'm going to count them out. So this is going to be 1 pi sixth. If I travel another 30 degrees, this is going to be 2 pi sixths, which simplifies to pi thirds. Another 30 degrees gets me to 3 pi sixths, which is pi halves. I'll circle the ones that I've reduced. Another 30 degrees. Now I'm counting, right? So this is 1, 2, 3. So now I'm at 4. This is going to be 4 pi sixths. And that one reduces to 2 pi thirds. Another 30 degrees gets me to 5. So I'm not 5 now, 5 pi sixths. This one is 6 pi sixths, or pi. So I'm going to circle the ones that have been reduced. Okay, there we go. I'm just continuing to count. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm on 7. So this here is 7 pi sixths. No reducing, so I'll circle that. This one right here is going to be 8 pi sixths. See, I'm just counting. This one does reduce to 4 pi thirds. So I've got 7, 8, now I'm at 9. This is 9 of them, 9 pi sixths, which is the same as 3 pi halves. 9, this is 10, 10 pi sixths, which is 5 pi thirds. That's that guy. So I was at 10. This is 11 pi sixths, which does not reduce. And then finally, this last one is going to be 12 pi sixths, which reduces to 2 pi. Okay, so I've counted these all around my circle. If I don't reduce, I'm counting them. So I've got 1 pi sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 pi sixths. So a really easy way to remember what these values are around the unit circle is to keep them not reduced. We're just counting those increments of pi sixths. Okay, so if you need to write some more things down, go ahead and pause. I'm going to clear the frame though, and I'm going to move on to the next one, which are our 45 degree or pi fourths. So let me clear the frame. Get our unit circle back up here. And I'll move everything into view. Okay, so next we want to work with our pi fourths. So next we're going to do pi fourths. Well, that's 180 degrees divided by 4, which is 45 degrees. So again, starting at the positive x-axis, I'm going to go 45 degrees to that first angle measure. This is pi fourths. I'm counting. So this is going to be 2 pi fourths, 3 pi fourths, and then another 45 degrees is 4 pi fourths. I can reduce some of these. This becomes pi halves, and this last one, of course, would be pi. But I'm counting, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means that the next time I hit a 45-degree increment, I'm at 5 pi fourths. Whoops, 5 pi fourths. 6 pi fourths. So easy when you don't reduce them. 7 pi fourths. And all the way around is 8 pi fourths. Now I can reduce some of these. A full rotation, of course, at 8 pi fourths reduces to 2 pi. I can also reduce the 6 pi fourths. That's 3 pi halves. And I think that's it. But I've counted. So as I worked my way around, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. Okay, those are the pi fourths. So again, if you need to write something down, go ahead and pause. But I'm going to go ahead and clear the frame and give myself a new unit circle to work on. And we'll do the last group. So the last group, we'll do these in green. The last group are our pi thirds. Pi thirds are 60 degrees, 180 divided by 3. Again, I'm starting on the positive x-axis, and I'm going to travel 60 degrees or pi third. That lands me here. And I'm just going to count. I'm not going to reduce. This is pi thirds. Another 60 degrees gets me to 2 pi thirds, 3 pi thirds, 4 pi thirds, 5 pi thirds, and then finally a full rotation is 6 pi thirds. I can only reduce 2 of these. So 3 pi thirds becomes pi, and 6 pi thirds becomes 2 pi. But again, I've divided these up into equal increments. Each of these increments is a 60 degree or a pi thirds increment. And I've counted them off. I count them off in a different color. We end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those pi thirds. So that's how to count the angle measures on the unit circle using radians. They're really nice in terms of the fractions, if you're thinking about them in terms of increments and multiples of those common angles, either the pi thirds, the pi sixths, or the pi fourths.